for me, what I realized was, just my level of understanding that this is not going to be overnight, right? I think sometimes, we get into business and, we think just overnight we're going to be successful speakers and coaches. And we don't really realize that this is a business just like any other business, right? If you start a restaurant business, or if you start, a doctor's practice, or if you become a lawyer or whatever, you're trying to build like successful practice or business, like they say minimum it takes 5 years for you to even see a profit in your business, right? And that's normal businesses. And I don't really want you getting try not to get disappointed if you don't understand something right away, right? Like, so you might not be a techie person, or you might not, like, I can tell you this, for me, like I am kind of a techie person, because I like my big time, like I've been a lot of years, I was in cybersecurity, right? So I know a lot of the techie stuff, but like new technologies, or like new, like you're gonna hear things called like marketing funnels, or like marketing software, or like sending out like emails, and you're gonna be talking about like lead magnets and pages and opt-in pages. You like, what? Oh, it sounds Greek, right? If you've never been in this industry. And for me, when I first got in the industry, it sounded Greek to me. I'm like, yo, what is that, right? I got super frustrated at first, because it's like, yo, how do I do that? Or how do I set up an automation sequence? Or how do I send out emails using this? Or how do I sign up for this? Or how do I use, like, you recommend Kajabi, right? It's like, how do I use Kajabi to like host my membership content, my coaching content? Like, what does that really look like? And, so you don't want to, you're going to learn about it, but don't get disappointed if you don't understand something for the first time.
Never go into anything doing things that you think you should do. That's the biggest mistake you could make. And that was one of the big things that I did. Was I was like, oh, I think I should do this, or I think I should just focus on my website today, or what I want to do today. I think I should just spend all day focusing on my logo today. And I would be just doing these little things, and it wasn't really pushing the business forward. And when you don't do that, it's a couple of things that's going to happen. Your self-esteem and your confidence is going to decrease, because you're going to feel like, yo, I've been spending months and months and months, or years and years and years, kind of doing a little bit of things here and there, doing research, asking people, talking to people, kind of helping people out for free, and not really having a process, not having a system. And that hurt me in a major way. And so much so that I struggled for the first 2 years, not really knowing what to do, and kind of just doing things that I thought. And it wasn't until, and it almost put me out the game psychologically. I almost quit, didn't generate any income. I was putting out money, but it wasn't making any money back. And it wasn't until I really started getting some guidance and some mentorship and some coaching that they said, wait a minute, why are you focused on this? 99% of the things you're doing does not matter in this moment. Doesn't mean that it's something you should never do, but in this moment it's not that important. And that's when I realized, when I had that conversation, it's like, oh wow, like that is okay. I get it. Like I understand, right? There's just certain things that you should be focused on, right? Let's say if, I don't know, you drive in a car, and you on the highway and there's traffic, and there's certain things that you probably shouldn't be paying attention to, that's not as important as you paying attention to the road, right? Let's say, for example, looking at your cell phone, or people do it, but there's certain things that it takes more priority in your business than others. And what I realize is that you have to be very aware to it, and you got to track yourself to what those things are.
And that over time is going to grow, right? Also it's about like giving them one task at a time. Let me do this. Boom. Got that out the way. Let me do this. Got that out the way. Let me do this, right? So that's really key.
Just because you speak to somebody doesn't mean that they're going to sign up and become a client, right? So now we got to figure out, okay, how many people do I need to be speaking to per week in order to get that one client? If you're just starting, you may not know. If you've been doing this for a minute, then you might say, if I talk to, for every minimum, I want to overshoot it and say every 10 people I speak to, I know I can get at least one. So now you're doing more math. So okay, so if I get on the phone with 10 people, I can get one client. Okay, cool. So then the question is, well, how many people do I actually need to be booking appointments in order to get that one client? Because remember, every time just because somebody sign up to get on your calendar and speak with you doesn't mean that they're actually going to come. And almost guaranteed everybody that you book in a week is not going to show up. So if you need to have 10 conversations to get one client, let's just say you might need to book 15 appointments that week. 5 of them, the kids, my health, I forgot. It's so many different things. Work came up. It's gonna be so many. It's gonna be people who just not gonna show up. So let's just say, all right, we're gonna account for that margin of error or that rescheduling, and that will be, let's just say 5 of those people. So that means I need to book 15 appointments. Cool, coach. Book 15 appointments. This is what I want to do. But what do you have to figure out before that? Well, you got to figure out how many people do I need to be having conversations with in order to book those 15 appointments. Now we're getting somewhere, right? So you might say, well, I need to have, in order to book 15 people to get appointments with me, that might take you 40 conversations in a week. It might take you 40 conversations, meaning however you're conversing with them. It might be text, it might be email, it might be DM, private message, it might be, you're going to live with somebody, but the whole goal is that you're interacting with your ideal audience and you're making some type of call to action to get them on your appointment, on your calendar.
If you put 0 hours and 0 effort in on your business, you will make $0. You'll make 0 impact. And as simple as that. And if you say, I want to build it, but I don't know how, that's a different question. Now we can we can open up the floodgates and we can say, okay, how do we do that? Okay, you come to me with that question, I can help you out. I can show you, okay, well, how do you do this with maybe, can you squeeze out 4 or 5 hours a week? Okay, well, can we talk about getting a team? Can we talk about, hiring a virtual assistant? Can we talk about having somebody clean your house because that's taking up 2 hours? Can we talk about you getting somebody to cook your food? Can we talk about somebody watching your kids? Now we can have a conversation on how do we get you more hours back to put towards your business. But you gotta commit and you gotta be open to the idea that it's possible, and we could talk about solutions. But the issue was I wasted 2 years of kind of just doing stuff, and I made a lot of mistakes and went through a lot of trial and error that I didn't have to go to had I had guidance from somebody that is further ahead of me on a journey. And they could have said, oh, stop doing that, or why are you focusing all your attention on this, and well, why are you overthinking that process? Just put it out and follow. And I wish I would have had like a map or blueprint or plan of somebody that I can follow. And had I did that, it wouldn't have taken me 2 years to get a client, right? I would have got it way sooner. And what's so funny is I actually did an interview with shout out to Vic, and we did an interview a couple weeks ago.
What's going on, baby?
Yeah. So one of the things that he did was, as I was interviewing him, he never been a coach, right? This was like his first time in business, never did coaching before. He was like, I didn't even know the first thing about coaching. I just know I wanted to serve people and be a life coach. So from the day that we started working together, he was already getting clients within his first 2 months of us working together.
Right.
This shows the power of having a coach. And this is why I posted recently, like when ET said the power of coaching. This is why this is so powerful, because I went from trying to figure it all out on my own, and it took me 2 years to start getting clients. And Vic, when he first just came out the gate, brand new to him, he immediately got a coach, and he got clients in his first 2 months of not knowing anything, never even been in business before. And that is the power of getting mentors, getting coaches, getting like people who've been on the journey before you, and they can show you the way. You're still gonna make some mistakes because there's some things you still gotta learn on your own, but a lot of the pitfalls and hardships and stress and drama and issues could be avoided had you not took a step on that path, man. So that's what I would say.
Okay.